All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all glory and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Honors and salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing this word in truth and sincerity. All right, this is the brother Tawab Bashar from GMS Los Angeles / Inland Empire. Come back with another video in the spirit. And once again, Tawab Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, for opening my eyes to this truth. Allow me to wake up another day and putting the spirit on me to do another lesson in hopes that I find a hopeful elect. Okay, so this video, what I want to go into is this word is our guide for a reason. This is our manual. The scriptures is our manual. This is our guide. This is our lamp. This is what gives us direction. Give us sight to see where we're going. Okay, and to let us know, if we're off track or if we're going the wrong way. In the scriptures, I always say this is the navigation, or this is the navigation tool on the earth that we've been given by the Lord. Okay, and seeing that what's going on in the earth right now, this is what's going to keep us, on that navigation towards the kingdom of heaven. Okay, no matter what may be going on, no matter how turbulent things are going to get, these words of the Lord, okay, the Bible, the scriptures, is going to be our guide through all this that we're getting ready to experience. Okay, because right now, we're going through the small trials that we're going through now, and we're using the scriptures, to navigate these things, but things are going to intensify. And as things intensify, the scriptures, we're going to have to really rely upon everything that we've learned in this truth. Okay. And trust in the process, and trust in these words, trust in the, applying what the scriptures say, and knowing that, that we apply these things, that the Lord is going to be with us in these times that's coming. Okay, so I'm gonna bring out a few scriptures, and I pray this be edifying to you sincere brothers as well as you few sisters. So I'm gonna start with Proverbs chapter 6, verse 23. It says, "For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life." Okay, so this word, these scriptures, these commandments are a lamp unto us. It's a light, and the light is a guide. Okay, and we're in a world full of darkness. Okay, and when I say darkness, I mean, you got a lot of ignorance. It can be looked at, darkness can be referred to as ignorance, and then evil. You just got a bunch of evil individuals. You got a lot of demonic energy, okay, out here in this world. Years ago, brothers did a video. It was the brothers, the Northern brothers. I believe they came across this video. It was this Northern Kingdom dude, this Northern Kingdom Jake, and he was basically saying that how, he was a former, I believe he was a former Satanist or whatever. And he said in that video, he would do certain rituals. He'll put certain demons in certain areas, whether it be streets, clubs, or what have you. And in that video, he was explaining that that's basically what goes on in this society, man. It's a whole bunch of, demons, okay? Demons in these different neighborhoods, streets, towns, okay? These different clubs, where it's basically where a lot of people go, a lot of people dwell, and brothers, we dwell in these different areas, and there's demons in these areas. There's demons throughout this whole Babylon kingdom. Okay. But that's why we have this word, these scriptures. Okay. Because the scriptures give us instructions. The scriptures give us counsel on how we should deal with certain things. Okay. And then, also the Lord, the balance of that too is the brotherhood as well. The brothers give each other sound advice, sound counsel, you know. So we have the tools to be able to navigate in this evil, wicked ass world, even though, it seems like it says in Psalms the 37th chapter that the wicked is prospering, okay? But the scriptures say in Job that the triumphing of the wicked is but for a moment. It's short. You see? So it's very, very, very imperative, to always, follow what the scriptures say, not lean upon our own understanding and try to do our own thing. Okay. All right. This is I got another one. This is Proverbs chapter 20, verse 24. It says, man's goings are of the Lord. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. How can a man then understand his own way? You see? So we can have thoughts, we can have plans, we can brainstorm on what we're gonna do here, what we're gonna do there. We can have all these different ideas in our head, but ultimately, with this, as the scripture just says, man's goings are of the Lord, man. The Lord directeth our steps. And this is coming out of the Bible. This is in the scriptures, man. And say, how can a man understand his own way? What did the Lord say in what did the scripture say in Isaiah 55? His ways are higher than our ways, his thoughts than our thoughts. So the Lord, at the end of the day, what the Lord says matters. What the Lord wants us to do, how the Lord wants us to be on this earth, that's the only thing that matters, man. Okay? It don't matter how we think, how we feel, okay, what ideas, but, at the end of the day, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, this is his will. This is what the Lord wants. Okay, right now, Esau, he's in a power seat, but he's getting ready to come out the power seat. Okay, you see what all this shit that's going on. You had another so-called attempt on Trump's life. Okay, which is a damn joke. It's like, but it's all, whether it's staged or not, it's all what the Lord wants. The Lord is all about drama. The Lord is the ultimate director. Okay, but see us, that's in his truth. We can't allow things that's in this world or certain shit out here to cloud our judgment, man, and how we moving. Okay, when we like these people out here, these people in this world, they're driven off emotions, man. Like, for example, like with the gas prices, people are, which it sucks, but hey, what the fuck can we do? And it's a beautiful thing that this is, I hope the gas prices go higher, because we want to get the fuck out of here, man. Okay, that's our mindset. That's the mindset to have, for this place to go down, and these things have to happen. Shit is going to get expensive. Brothers are going to start losing jobs. Brothers are going to start being in, very uncomfortable scenarios, man. But hey, we always remember what's the end game? What is the purpose of all this? Okay, salvation, man. All these things have to take place in order for us to, to, Lord willing, we be those men to receive that salvation, for the Lord to deem us worthy to be delivered, man. Okay. All right, this is Proverbs chapter 22, verse 3, it says, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. Right. And we hiding ourselves in this truth. Psalms 91, the secret place of the Most High. Okay. This is what we have. This is what we have made our habitation. Okay. This word is truth. Okay. So that makes us prudent, opposed to these people in this world, because the people in this world, they're fools. They're a bunch of simpletons. Okay, because they don't see the evil that's coming. Okay, we see the foreshadowing of what's getting ready to happen. We know what's getting ready to happen because it's in the scriptures. The Lord set up prophets, which we learn from our apostles and elders, right? And now we're out there pushing this word for for the to the rest of the elect, the rest of the body, the congregation. Okay, but the vast majority of Israel, they're in the congregation of the dead, so they're gonna be punished. They're gonna be simple minded. They're gonna pass on and be punished. Okay, they don't have this guide, because Jake in the world, they basically, Jake basically winging it through life. Jake don't have a standard to live up to. Jake don't have a purpose, that ties back to serving the Lord, man. Their purpose is always chasing after a whore, chasing after a bitch, or chasing after that imaginary bag. Okay, and a lot of these guys that have obtained those things, look at these celebrities, man. These celebrities that Jake been looking up to. Look at what they're being reduced to, man. Look how the Lord is humbling these individuals. Look how at one point in time these guys had, they so-called, in their mind, they thought they had it all. They had the fame, they had the fortune, okay, they had the status, so to speak. But according to that, the entertainment bullshit, because Jake really ain't got no status in this place. Because if that was the case, Jake wouldn't be, being ridiculed like how they are. But the point is I'm making is, at one point these guys were, on top of their game, so to speak. But now they're being reduced to mockery, man. Look at Puff Daddy, man. P Diddy, wherever the fuck his name is, man. At one point, this dude was looked at as one of the top moguls in the music industry, not just hip hop, just music, period. Right? Now his whole legacy is tarnished, man. Now his name is in infamy, is mockery. Jay got that phrase, no Diddy. So he's become infamous, man. For the wrong reasons, right? So now, just by seeing that just goes to show you, man. Because Jake was proud. He was wise in his own eyes. But what did it lead him? It lead him. He's a joke. His shit is in shambles, man. And that's what happens when, like I was mentioning, Jake not having that guide, man. Okay? Because his guide was the God of this world, Satan. Okay? So it's a very, very imperative, to really apply these scriptures, man. Lean upon the Lord, man. Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Trust in the process. Okay, trusting what the Lord is telling us, man. Okay, because this is what's gonna guide us through these very difficult times, man. Okay, matter of fact, this is Isaiah chapter 33, verse 6. It says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai is his treasure." You see that? Wisdom and knowledge talking about this word, these scriptures. It's going to keep us stable. It's going to keep us from losing it. It's going to keep us from going astray. Okay? It's going to keep us from, being wise in our own eyes, man. And we all got a sense of that to a degree, but that's why we got to read. That's why these scriptures, we got to, constantly go over these things over and over again to keep ourselves in check, to remind ourselves. Okay? Because people, these people that's, that's highly esteemed in this world, people that are looked at as very intelligent, educated, a lot of that shit goes to these people's head. They become high-minded. And that's why the scriptures say the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Lord, man. And that's what that's the even with this truth, man. The scriptures say knowledge puffeth up. So a lot of individuals think because, they're able to, they're able to hold they're able to hold a lot of knowledge that means something. But here's the thing, though. You can have knowledge. There's a lot of people that have knowledge, but there's a difference between having knowledge, understanding, wisdom, and understanding, man. Understanding, why, understanding what the scriptures is saying and having the wisdom to apply what the scriptures is saying. Okay? Because there's a lot of people, they think they know the Lord, they think they know the Most High, but they don't really understand what these words are saying. They don't know the times that they're in. They don't know how to apply what the scriptures is saying in this book. Because the Lord hasn't given them that was eyes that they could see. Okay? Which that's what ultimately that's what's going to boil down to, because the Lord is only going to give this understanding to his elect, man. And when I say elect, I mean the elect of the nation of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, got another one. This is Proverbs chapter 14, verse 15. It says, the simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his going. You see that? See, so these people that trust in these politicians, you even got some of our people trusting in that trusted in Trump, niggas for Trump. Then you got these dumbass so-called Latinos for Trump. Okay, and look what's happening, man. Look at all you individuals that voted for Trump. Your life hasn't improved. Hey, Trump is the reason why a lot of the northern tribes are catching hell from ICE, man. Okay, so you dumbass Northern Kingdom Latinos, so-called Latinos, voted for Trump. Look now look at your stupid ass, man. But hey, there's 2/3. But the point is, what I'm trying to convey in this video is for us that's in this truth is apply these scriptures, man. Don't allow those demons, the knock us off our square. Okay, these thoughts, trying to be, being wise in our own eyes. Nah, man, fuck all that. Because I know, this flesh is a bitch. This flesh is wicked as hell. Because we're coming into some times, man. We're going to come into those times where we're really going to have to really lean upon these scriptures, man. Because like I said, brothers about to go through some uncomfortable shit. Brothers about to lose certain shit. But what we don't want to lose is these words, okay? Because we know we're programming, the Lord's programming these words into our mind, because He's preparing us, spiritually for these times as ahead, because we're gonna experience some shit, and these scriptures are gonna have to, be in the forefront of our mind, because this is what's going to keep us stable. This is going to keep us from losing it. This is going to keep us from, leaning upon our own understanding, man. Okay. So I'm going to read this and I'm going to wrap it up. This is 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 10. It says, "Wherefore, the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if ye do these things, ye shall never fall." You see that? If we do these things, we meaning applying these scriptures, doing the work. Okay, rehearsing the righteous acts. Okay, not just being hearers, but doers as well. Okay, we do these things, we'll never fail, as the scriptures just said, man. Okay, so it's very, very important to, to go by this word. What's written in these scriptures are instructions. Okay, commandments. Okay, we got the histories, we got the laws. Okay, prophecies. Okay. But these things are written for our learning and for our comfort, but also we have to apply these things as well. Okay, so when the Lord returns, we'll be found blameless in His sight, because that's the point, to be found blameless. Because if we apply in the script what the Lord told us to do in these scriptures, and we do them to the best of our ability, okay, that's what's going to help us to be blameless. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So with that, like I said, I pray this is edifying to you sincere brothers, as well as you few sisters out there. Stay strong, keep fighting. We almost out of here. So with that, I'm gonna give all glory and praises to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem HaKodash, the honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone, honors and salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing His word in truth, sincerity. Shalom.